Omae wa mou shinderu.
On guard! Stop it! What are you doing? I can't. I'm running away from you. Y'all are mean.
And cut.
I think it'd be a lot smoother if Dylan just started it.
Okay.
Hello, guys, and welcome back to TimingApple. Today, we're going to be talking about the longsword.
And we are.
What?
We didn't plan for after that.
No, we didn't.
I was gonna.
The longsword. What do I do next?
What comes next? We didn't actually talk about
My name
that.
is David. Brett, say hi.
Brett's here.
And Dylan did the intro. Dylan.
Hello.
Yes, he.
This
did
is why they don't leave me with the intro. Your basic moves with the longsword are your simple triangle combo, which is 2 overhead slams, circle, which is just a quick jab, and then if you tap triangle after circle, a quick upward cut. That's all that you have. Those are your only moves that you can really do in any sort of combo. You can mix them up a little bit.
A lot of it.
Yeah, a lot of it. You have a lot of freedom with where you want to go with that. So as we were just arguing, the triangle hits do more damage but are slower. The circle and then the upward slash are quicker. They're good for building up a spirit gauge quickly if you're just trying to get quick hits in. But the big thing is that triangle circle, your fade slash. You can move everywhere with this. You can do it after any attack. You can even do it from standing still. Let me check something. Yeah, the only problem with doing it standing still is you can't go side to side. But what is great about this is you can just sit under a monster. You know that it's going to be dangerous to sit at its right side. Boom, you're at its left. You know it's going to be dangerous in front of it. Now you're away. You can move any which way that you need to with that.
Because long swords can't block.
Yes.
That's
And
never
don't
stopped
let
me.
about to say, don't let that discourage you. The fact that you can't block, you have plenty of defensive options. As I said, you have extreme mobility. We're going to be moving. Oh wait, no, we're not. That actually is the next thing on my list. With the longsword, you have a counter. I feel like that's not talked about enough in the game itself, considering they outright say that longsword can't block. At any point in any combo, as long as you've actually performed an action right before, you can do this move with R2 and circle to do a quick back hop with invulnerability frames, followed up with a quick cut. Now, that cut itself isn't that strong, but if you effectively evade a move with that, there'll be a blue aura. We'll be trying to show that in a later portion of the video. When you get a hit with the returning upward cut, it will fully fill out your spirit gauge, and then you can tap R2 again to go straight into the 4th hit of your Spirit Blade combo, which I just realized I probably should have gone over before all of this, considering that's the whole point of the longsword is a spirit combo.
Yay!
Yeah.
Dylan, what is a Spirit Blade combo?
What is a spirit blade?
Because I haven't main log sword ever.
I haven't ever
Well,
mained it.
I have.
If you'll look up at the top left, right under my sharpness gauge, you'll see a second blade icon
Sword.
up there. Yeah.
Is that how much sword you have left?
Close.
Yay.
As you get hits, that gauge will fill up.
That sounds.
And
familiar.
then, yes, just like the Switch Axe, I almost said the Spirit
The
Axe.
Spirit Axe.
Now, that's the new weapon they need to come up with. Using that gauge, you can tap right trigger and go into these very powerful moves. And if you get the last hit in, see how the gauge is now glowing white? You will now actually do more damage per hit due to that white gauge. And what's even better, you can keep going further. Once you've got that gauge full enough again, go back in, Spirit Blade, now it's yellow. Now you're doing 10% more damage. Go back in, get the hits. I'm down to green sharpness. Let me do that so you can see those better numbers.
Means?
Yes,
I
the
forgot.
sharpness gauge.
No, not the
goes
sharpness
down.
thing. The yellow thing around the spirit.
Yeah, that tells you
Yeah.
what level spirit
Yeah.
gauge you're at. But it only
at
goes
white-
up if you hit with the last hit of the Spirit Blade combo.
No other hit
I'm not
really
sure
matters.
if you said
I did. I said it had to
Okay.
be the last hit.
that. Okay.
But yeah, like no other hit actually matters for the level of your gauge. You still want to get those hits because it's damage. But yeah, at white, you do 5% more damage per hit. Yellow is 10%. At red, you do 13% more. And red is as high as it goes. Now, I don't know if you... Actually, I wasn't even paying attention that much myself. I know these overhead slams were doing in the 50s. Now you'll see they're doing well into the 60s, unless I get a crit, and I do in the 70s.
Back in the 70s.
Yes, back in the 70s. Now, this also opens up another interesting move called the Spirit Thrust, which is this. I seriously
You
thought that
totally
I
almost
missed
missed.
That's
Now-
awesome.
that. When you perform that, as you saw, it does do a lot of damage. Look at my Spirit Gauge now. It's dropped down to yellow and is flashing.
Why is it flashing, Dylan?
The reason it's flashing is, at this moment, my Spirit Gauge is in constant state of regen. Whether I'm hitting it or not, my Spirit Gauge will keep going up. The only problem with using the Spirit Thrust is it will drop the level of your gauge down. So if you're at red, it'll take you to yellow. If you're at yellow, it'll take you to white. If you're at white, it'll take you to nothing. If you're at nothing, it won't even let you perform the move. Now, something I need to prepare to show you again. Let me quickly get rid of this red. You saw how that did 58 damage each hit? Something that I looked up and found. This move actually does even further bonus damage at red, beyond the normal red multiplier. So, anything you guys have to ask at this point?
Is that all the basic of it?
That's pretty much it.
How
It's
can
pretty
you?
much just-
I saw you doing fade slashes in the middle of Spirit Blade combo. I don't know how to do that.
Okay, yes, I was going to be moving on to that. I was just making sure we're caught up in everything.
Okay.
There are shortcuts to getting the Spirit Blade, to getting your Spirit Gauge up. Oh, let me just empty this out so I can show it.
Empty your load. Okay.
All right, didn't mean to actually get that level. All right, let me just get rid of this.
That's still awesome.
Yes, it's honestly it's
And now
hard
your
to aim.
gauge is back, Dylan. What were you thinking?
All right, let's.
Wait, I'm not sure
Down
what we're
to
trying
zero.
to accomplish at this
I'm
point.
trying to get rid of my gauge, but I keep doing that to regen it. But I needed to get rid of the level, so bit of a catch-22. We'll just
Be back after these
yeah,
messages.
after these messages. All
Let's
right, it's
stop
done
blinking.
blinking. All right,
Yeah.
let me get rid of the gauge.
Oh, and the kitty helmet, your eyes flash red during this. I guess it's during each time you pull the trigger.
Yeah,
You just,
Yeah.
yeah, that's right
Yeah.
there.
I love that. Okay.
Okay, spirit fade
Now-
slash combos and stuff.
Yes. Great thing about the Fade Slash, beyond the increased mobility, you can use it as a shortcut into the Spirit Blade. So, I'm going to go triangle, circle, or that was completely backwards, Fade Slash, and if you'll notice, the first hit of R2 after the Fade Slash actually took me into Spirit Blade 2, completely cutting out the first hit. So, I can actually perform the full combo with roughly 70% of the gauge instead of the usually needed 90%. Another little trick I haven't actually tested out too much in this game, but I know that it's been true in the other games. Let me just get some of this here. Now, yep, they did keep it. By tapping triangle after the first or second hits of the Spirit Blade, you can actually perform a quick jab or uppercut, depending on which one, to get more gauge mid Spirit Blade. If you
Yeah, if you're
realize
not, if
mid
you're like not quite gonna make it
Yeah.
to that last hit, you can
Yeah.
just throw those in there and get a little bit of gauge back.
Yes. And that's pretty much all there is to the ground play of the longsword. It's pretty much just at any moment you have options of where to go, what to do, and the whole point of all of this is getting that gauge. You get the gauge, you get good.
Aerial attacks.
Moving on to the
Aerial
aerial
and
attacks,
slidings.
which I fucking love, and god damn it, I gotta get rid of my gauge. Because the gauge actually does affect most of the moves.
Why do you do that then? Because won't that put in the flashing thing?
It does put it in the flashing, but it brings the level down, which is the important part of this. So, going down the hill, you can tap triangle, you go into an uppercut, and then when you're in the air, just like pretty well any other weapon, you can perform any action from in the air, which means you can do your down swipe, or in the air you can go into Air Spirit Blade 1
With the trigger.
with the trigger, yes.
Anything related to Spirit Blade is trigger.
Yeah. Now, you actually don't usually want to be using triangle to launch off of a slide. I have found a much better move. Tap right trigger, you'll go into the aerial spirit
Ooh.
blade draw.
Nice.
That has
cool.
It's spinning.
it has crazy mounting value.
Do you need spirit gauge to do that?
You do need. I'm trying to remember. I do know that it does combo, and you do need spirit blade or spirit gauge for the combo, but it does take gauge to perform the move.
Okay, it does,
It's probably like the other moves where having gauge greatly increases the damage.
yeah.
So-
More on that later.
I guess you were going to explain that.
Yeah. All right. Now let's see if I can hit the barrel with it. Yes.
Cool.
If you get a hit with that,
That's
yes.
awesome.
If you get a hit with that and you don't mount it, which is actually unlikely at the start of the mission, you can then go straight into Spirit 4. That move alone, as I said, if you have gauge, it does more damage. But if you get a hit with it, it actually gives you enough gauge to just go straight into the Spirit 4 and instantly start off a fight with white gauge.
And
I
you can go into the rising thing with that, the rising slash, or the one where you
The
jump in
Spirit
air.
thrust, if you want to, yes.
Yeah.
But again, like I said, I kind
Oh,
of
yeah,
recommend
wait till
waiting.
later to do
like I
it.
said, I recommend waiting until you have red gauge so that you actually get the full damage from it.
Yeah.
Is that even like?
Can you do it
Possible
from
to
the
do?
regular air, like off the
What?
wedge beetle?
Wait, use the that spirit gauge?
But like, if you just jump off a wedge beetle, can you still use that move even though it's not a slide?
No,
Oh,
no.
okay.
It has very different ones in the air, which I'm gonna have to now get rid of this to show you.
Up again.
All right. Yep.
At least it's a cool move.
I know. At least it's a
Yeah.
cool move.
But like, could you? Would that even be feasible to do in like a regular mission hunting a monster? Going down a ledge, doing the spirit twist in the air, and then going
Then
into
getting
a
the round
thrust,
slash?
and then going up and down. Could that? Even,
Not really, because after that round slash, the Spirit 4, you auto sheath your weapon. Then to go into the Spirit thrust, you'd have to unsheath it.
so you can't go the twisty.
It's not as fluid as you would think.
Oh. Well, so did you, Brett.
Yeah.
We're
No
both
way.
offline.
Yeah, they both got kicked offline because of inactivity watching me.
Okay.
Well,
Go
moving
ahead.
on to the actual ledge attacks. As we saw, triangle is just a... Gonna be doing this. Let's go this way. Triangle, just a nice downward chop. Does fairly decent damage. It's about as much as it does on the ground. And then your other option in the air are your Spirit Blade attacks. With no gauge, it's just a simple hit. Honestly, it doesn't even do a lot of damage unless you have gauge. But if you don't have gauge, then it will actually give you gauge when you get a hit. So,
We gotta wait for your gauge to go down again.
no, it's actually down. I need to go get some gauge to show the next ones. Aha!
Hit
Showing
it.
off. Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
All right. White gauge. To be honest, I never used this one, so it might actually be the same as standard, and I don't remember. But I do know that yellow and red are different. That was magical. Anyway.
Right up there. That's all that matters.
Yes. Now, with white gauge,
Ooh.
you do a quick side-to-side slap. Again, if you have no actual gauge to it, it does very little damage. I think some numbers I've actually seen come off of that is a 6 and a 7. But if you do have gauge, their power goes up greatly, each hit doing about 20 to 30. Now, back to get yellow. Nope. Down here.
You missed.
That looks cool.
Yeah. I said you can just
I need to practice putting
you can
the
just
fade
move
slash in there.
everything. Oh yeah. Don't know why I'm sharpening. Not really seeing the damage numbers from these anyway. But oh well. With
all cool, I guess.
yeah. So, now with the yellow gauge, it's actually the same as white. It's just the quick side to side, but now it gains the bonus of the 10% damage boost.
When you land, can you do the finishing spirit combo from that?
From that, it's not the spirit or it's not the finishing. It goes straight into Spirit 3.
Okay.
So it is another good shortcut.
Yeah.
Thank you for reminding me of that. I meant to bring that up earlier.
Yeah. It looks like the spirit combo. This
Yeah,
part.
it
Yeah.
is. All levels of this off of a ledge count as the Spirit Blade 2.
Okay.
So you can go straight into the Spirit 3 and then into Spirit 4. So it's quicker, but not quite as quick as going off
Jumping off the slide.
the slide.
Slide
thank you.
trigger button.
Yes. Now, this is honestly the most impressive one. It's your Spirit 3 animation and then it goes into the Spirit 3 actual attack. What is so impressive about that I wish I could show you in this little training area are the damage numbers when you actually have gauge. Without gauge, the first hit does about 7 damage, second hit does about 6, the third hit does about 8. With gauge enough to actually perform even a single spirit hit, I have seen 60s and 70s coming off of each hit of that combo. And it's all just from one little button push.
Wow.
And all of it has mounting damage.
Ooh. Because it's all in the air.
Exactly. And
Cool.
honestly,
Is there anything else we have to go over in the air?
Nope. That's about it.
Oh.
Well, I guess we can move on to an actual fight to showcase now.
Yeah. Okay. You don't need bot
Okay,
stuff,
guys.
David.
Now-
Habit.
Now, a couple things I did forget to mention whenever I was covering everything before. The Helm Splitter, the move that you perform after the Spirit Thrust, where you jump in the air, it will automatically slash without any other button input. But if you do that, you're pretty well locked into the wherever you're aiming. If you tap triangle while still in the air, you will immediately aim to whichever direction you are pushing the stick. There's a monster.
Why is it?
So it's recommended to actually tap triangle so you can get better aim. Now, the other thing I forgot to mention, didn't mean to mount this. All right.
I was just gonna wait over here to make sure you're done explaining things.
Yeah. The other thing is the counterattack will actually drop your spirit gauge to 0. It won't. You won't lose whatever levels you have. Just the gauge will empty, whether you hit it or not. If you do get the hit, it'll fill up shortly, just so you can get out that next hit.
On guard.
So. All right, now, Brett.
So now we're
Yes.
just trying to
Help
kill
me.
it.
Help counter me.
Oh, you're doing encounters. Okay. I'll roll this
Nope.
way then.
Well,
Didn't
I
work.
failed my counter. So the counter doesn't do it automatically. Do you have to have some timing behind it?
Wait, what do you mean? For which part?
Like you said, it has invincibility frames. Does it actually counter, or do you still have to aim it like an MOI?
You do have to time it, but it's a real good window.
Oh, okay.
All right, well, that...
Investigation
Died
added.
quick.
David, what were you doing?
I was making sure y'all were explaining everything.
Brett, try to hit me.
The
Let's
big-
see if we can show the
Okay.
blue aura.
Nyah. Nyah.
Why are you hitting me?
Nyah.
Nope. Okay. Let's try that again.
Why? It's
I
not
want to
gonna
show
work.
them. I want to show them the blue aura.
Why didn't you do that?
Well, didn't really give me a good chance in this thing. All right, damn it. All right, can't show that.
Well, if you do it right, it's blue.
Yeah, if you do it right and then you get a hit, your gauge will instantly fill. That'll be your cue to go ahead
Ow.
and tap R2 again, and you'll do Spirit 4.
I wanted to stay over there to make sure that it didn't die before you
Well-
were done explaining. Even though I guess it still died before you were done explaining.
Yeah. Technically speaking, yes, it did. Oh, also, I
On
guess
guard.
I guess I can throw
Oh.
this in real quick. You can actually get Spirit Gauge off of dead enemies.
That's neat.
Yeah, so if you see small monsters running around and they die, go ahead and just hit their body if you're having a hard time hitting the main monster.
Scrub.
Yeah. Now listen, it's something to do. You can
That was
also
Silver Crown for me.
I say you can also get the actual like gauge levels moving up from white, yellow, and red. You can actually refill those that using the carcasses too if you hit them with the round slash.
You know, a lot of the skills that support the switch axe also support the longsword.
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
Dylan's current armor has power prolonger on it. That keeps your gauge longer. That's always good.
Yep. What it doesn't actually keep the part that fills when you hit. It only extends the duration of the white, yellow, and red, which is actually still really good because red does not last long. The higher
Oh.
level the gauge is, the shorter
goes away
duration it has.
faster.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like a might pill.
This is
Sure.
always the part that I know the least about.
I know.
Yep. Hi, David.
Hi.
Another useful armor skill to have is focus,
Nope.
which actually increases how much of the gauge fills with each hit.
There we go.
I think I think I looked at it once. With full focus, you only need 4 hits to actually fill the gauge.
Yeah.
So
And,
one simple combo.
Yeah. The only move the longsword really has that drains stamina is the counter. So
Which we didn't even realize until today.
Yeah, which we didn't realize till today. So if you want to use the maximum might, which gives you a really good critical boost, critical hit ratio when your stamina is full, that'd be good.
Yeah, because you can
basically
just
your whole,
you can just fade. I mean, fade slash everywhere around it instead of dodge rolling for the repositioning.
Yeah, fade slash instead of countering. You can keep your stamina the whole time and have that boosted.
Yeah, because even though the counter does take some stamina, it's not much. It's just a simple little.
It's really not a lot.
Yeah, it's about a dodge roll.
And if you're teaming that up with the Dober legs, the alphas give that little bit of stamina recovery. Things like 10% just from the legs. So even if you do that, you can get it back a little quicker. If that's part of your armor setup. If you're not, then that's fine. There's tons of different combinations you can do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The Otogaran armor would be good. The one I have.
Like I said, that is a pretty good armor for any weapon that
Just
hits
about
quick.
anything.
Yeah, for any weapon that hits quick that loses sharpness a lot. But honestly, really, most of the longswords in this game have decent sharpness. I say as I wield the Xenojiva with the sliver
Razor
of white.
sharp.
Yeah. Yeah, razor sharp's another good ability.
Oh yeah, that also goes with the. So you get power prolonger for the gauge, and razor sharp both from the Xenojiva armor, which Dylan has minus the cat head, but most of that is.
Yeah, listen,
Xenojiva.
We said that this would be my shtick. It's gonna be my shtick.
The cat head?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So in conclusion,
Do we have a conclusion?
I don't know.
Longsword OP.
Longsword OP.
Nah, I wouldn't say that.
Gunlance OP.
Is it? Find out next
Foreshadowing.
time. Also, am I drunk yet? Yep, I'm drunk.
Am
I'm
I
not even
let's
going
go
the right
home.
way.
All right,
Where's
my
my
turn.
head?
Actually, okay. I'm fine.
I can't get. I'm on the ground.
I'm gonna go solo this.
I couldn't even
Big
make it
juice.
past
No.
my chair.
I made it off the. I didn't even make it all the way off the carpet.
I made it off the carpet. Yes. All right.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.